Well, hello there! Where did you come from? What's that, you say? It's Halloween Hell Week? Hold on a second. Whoops, this isn't the one. Now I'm ready for Halloween Hell Week. Good day, Dark Realmers. I'm Christy Stratus, author of Anatomy of a Darkened Heart and Lock and Key. And both of these are part of the Dark Victoriana collection. They are dark and they are psychological suspense, so definitely go check them out on Amazon and Smashwords and Barnes & Noble and Kobo and everywhere else. I'm really excited to introduce you to today's video, and before you watch it, make sure that you subscribe and definitely hit that notification bell so you can see all of the Halloween Hell Week videos and pretty much Halloween all year, because it's all wonderful horror reviews by Michael J. Elliott. So stay tuned.
Hey guys, and welcome to Hell Week 2017. This is the first of what I'm hoping is going to be an annual extravaganza of us kind of horror-based nutters, where we share a bit of our love of Halloween. We get to kind of drink a little extra pumpkin spice and rock out with truly the most wonderful time of the year. So, here's me. I'm going to hit you guys with my favorite 5 horror comic books. There were a number of kind of things I took into account on this. The first being that they had to be available. So, all of the ones that I'm going to list here today are available on Comixology. So you can leave right now and you can download the damn thing and read it immediately, which is perfect, you know? Take advantage of the 21st century. So, number 1 on my list, Trick or Treat. This comic, it's basically a adaptation of the film of the same name by a gentleman called Michael Dougherty. He is also responsible for last year's kind of Christmas film called Krampus. Here's the sizzle. It's an interlinking series of stories that all take place on the same Halloween night. So you'll basically get a little something of everything in here. There are 4 stories and it all rotates around our little fellow Sam here, who is the Halloween spirit. He goes around enforcing that people live the Halloween dream, they don't blow out their jack-o'-lanterns too early, and all that other good stuff that goes with it. There's a mix of the art. There's one in particular that I wasn't too fond of the art on, but the stories are all pretty sound and it's a great read regardless. Also, bonus, there is a second volume. So this is Trick or Treat, Days of the Dead, which was just released year before last. And that was also fantastic. I had a similar story. 3 out of the 4 stories in each are outstanding, which I know is not great endorsement, but it's what I got. Second on my list, Hack Slash. Now, these you might find, are pretty fat. And there are about 5 volumes of these, so the entire arc, the entire series is completely finished, so you can walk away from this and read the whole lot right now. I binged these over it was about a month and a half, and they were really, really good. The art is kind of a mixed bag, where you get a lot of different artists kind of taking part in the comic book itself. But the general gist of it is, it follows our delicious Cassie Hack here, who wears the most delicious socks known to mankind, apparently. She is the quintessential kind of last girl survivor of an attack by what they call slashers. Supernaturally kind of charged killers that cruise around and mow people down. Her mother was originally a slasher, and that's what kind of kicked her off on the thing. She and her best bud Vlad, who's built like a brick shithouse, he wears a ventilator mask to kind of help him breathe. They cruise cross-country in an unmarked white van and take down slashers, Monster of the Week style. It's really good fun, helping people as they go and taking down creatures and monsters and evil teddy bears and everything in between. There's one particular monster in here who's a girl called the something angel, the Death Angel. She spits acid and burns people to death in bathtubs. So it's a pretty solid book. There's a lot to dig. Number 3 on my list is Lock and Key. This is the 2nd volume in the series. It's a book by Joe Hill and I always get his name wrong. Gabriel Rodriguez. There you go, Bert. I got it right. It's taken me a year or two. Now, this is basically a story of a family who undergoes severe tragedy. Their dad gets killed in a violent shooting, and then they go back to live in their ancestral home in a town called Lovecraft, of all things. And when they get there, they discover that the house is inundated with all kinds of magic that only children can see. The place is riddled with these fantastic keys. Here's my favorite one on the front here, which is the head key. And all of them do cool and remarkable things. But the trouble is that there is something there in the well house that's looking to get its hands on the keys and to take over. Things get deeper and deeper and darker. The art is absolutely lush. It's really, really beautiful. They've got these fantastic sequences with this head key. It's a real kind of coming of age story with these three kids. So you've got Bodhi as the youngest of the three, and he's just kind of so sweet. His older sister Kinsey, she's funky as hell and really, really just a wonderful feisty chick. And you've got Tyler, who is the pseudo jock who's trying to just find his way through school. It's a wonderful story of how they kind of interact with each other and how they just try and deal with this terrible thing that's happened to them and all the wonderful and terrible and horrific magic that goes on. There's a lot of bloodshed. It's pretty dark, but I cannot recommend this enough. This is one of my favorites. Right, number 4 is Death Follows. This is a fantastic little story. It's freaking dark. I mean, really, really dark. There were times during this book where I was kind of cringing and clenching my knuckles. It deals with Birdie, a little girl, and her family. I think she's got a younger sister and her 2 parents, and they all live on a farm back in 18 Footsack. And what happens is her father takes on a new farmhand, a really, really creepy gentleman by the name of Cole, who comes to help at the farm. And Birdie does not like him one bit. Strange things start to kind of happen around the farm. Things start getting really, really creepy. Things start coming back to life. It's a really, really gory, really creepy story. I read the first page and I was absolutely into it. So I went from beginning to end, the whole way through it. It was a fantastic read. It really got under my skin. Number 5, Harrow County. Written by a gentleman named Cullen Bunn. Drawn in watercolors in the most stunning, stunning art you'll see in a comic book by a gentleman called Tyler Crook. It deals with a young girl called Emmy, who is growing up in Harrow County, and she's an only child at this point. Her mother died when she was young, and she starts kind of discovering all these weird things in the forest around her. Her father is secretive about it. He is very, very overprotective. She is a wonderful, wonderful character. She's got such a big heart, and there's just this kind of creeping darkness around her that she needs to get to the bottom of. The series is about 5 volumes in right now. All of them available in Comixology, of course, and I keep going back to it. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. The folklore, the American folklore, is fantastic. In the single issues of the comic book itself, there are a lot of these amazing kind of backup stories, just one-page flash fiction pieces that also just add to the lore. You've got this infestation of haints, which come in the most wonderful shapes. My favorite being, I think, Penelope is the name of this creature. It's got wonderful ears and these big old eyes, and it's really kind of goofy and gremlin looking, and the entire mythology of the thing with witches and what's good and what's bad and how everything shapes together is a really, really fantastic story. So there you go. So that's my list. I hope you guys have got something fantastic out of it that you can take forward in your life, and it will grow your brain and creep you out and bring you hours and hours of joy for months, years, weeks to come, whatever it is. Thank you very, very much for tuning in to my section of Hell Week. I hope you guys have a great Halloween. Whatever it is that you get up to, I hope you carve lots of pumpkins and grab life by the gourds, you know? My name's Mike Pilgrim. If you want to tweet me, you can hit me up at Mike Pilgrim on Twitter. And if you want to stop by my site, it's Mike Pilgrim. That's mykpilgrim.com. I also run a YouTube channel. And in addition, if you're still feeling the kind of Halloween spirit, and being that kind of as a horror nut, Halloween is every day of the year. It's just kind of this time of the year we get to kind of play out in public and people don't look at us quite so strange. I put together a horror movie marathon. It's none of the kind of really heavy stuff. It's just good old fun popcorn movies. It plays like a playlist. I'll put the link in the doobly-doo so you can check out that goodness as well if you like. Otherwise, you keep the ghost light burning, and I'll see you guys later.